Not a great day to enjoy the 50s because we'll be dodging rain showers throughout our Sunday. Then it turns sharply colder on Monday with snow in the morning, wind chills below zero, and that high temperature on Monday, only 24 degrees. So a huge swing from Sunday into Monday. And after Monday, it stays on the colder side all the way through the new year. We'll talk about that forecast for next week coming up.
That sounds good. You touched on this, Larry. New York City could see its biggest snowfall of the season tonight. Cities on the East Coast now bracing for a heavy band of weekend snow. Pennsylvania's road crews preparing for icy road conditions. And meanwhile, in Vermont, people enjoying the ski slopes for a bit of seasonal fun. This snowpack, great for skiers. On the opposite coast, a winter storm also hitting California's mountain ranges. The heavy snow causing power outages and issues for drivers. National Weather Service is warning of more severe weather this weekend across that state. And Southern California reeling from yet another round of brutal weather. Look at this video. At least 3 deaths have been blamed on a powerful storm. High winds, torrential rain, and floodwaters destroying homes and shutting down roads. An evacuation order is now in effect northeast of Los Angeles because of the mud and the debris. And those storms could delay travelers as the holiday travel rush ramps back up. Midway Airport expecting its busiest day tomorrow, while O'Hare prepares for another potential record. Our Mayor Kawash has a look at how things are going there.
The travel rush is back on for millions of Americans heading home from their holiday destinations. Many travelers at O'Hare today beating most of the chaos, getting in and out with no problems.
I have to say I was very surprised. You know, having lived here and knowing what the holidays usually bring here, this was very impressive. Easy to get in, 90 was clear.
Oh my gosh, everything was so smooth leaving O'Hare, getting into Denver, and then coming back really nice.
As holiday travel now comes to an end in 2025, TSA is once again expecting record numbers, with passenger volume estimated to be up at least 6% in Chicago from last year's travel period. United Airlines and American Airlines increased their fleet and staffing for the holiday, and passengers say it has certainly helped.
Fantastic. Everybody's in a good mood. We're going to go places. We had one delay in Sacramento, and other than that, we're here.
Now the main concern comes with parts of the country bracing for storms in coming days, especially on the East Coast. Travelers trying their best to get out ahead of time and avoid the mess.
The fog is the only thing I'm a little concerned about. It kind of feels like spring out there.
I'm Mayor Kawash, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Mayor, thank you. To see how our weather could impact your travel plans, get the latest forecast with the free ABC 7 Chicago News app. You can scan that QR code on your screen for a link to a download. Don't forget, Larry's back in a few minutes with the full forecast, too. A man from Bensonville will remain in jail after being accused of trying to kidnap a woman with special needs. Ismael Andrade Pino is appeared in court this morning. He's accused of grabbing the 20-year-old victim by the neck, trying to force her into his vehicle. She was working in the parking lot of a Jewel grocery store earlier this week. He faces felony kidnapping, battery, and unlawful restraint charges in the case. Park Forest police officer Tim Jones will be remembered tomorrow in a celebration of life. Jones died on December 3rd, more than 9 years after he was shot and critically wounded in the line of duty. His celebration of life service will be held at Tinley Park High School, his alma mater. We will stream the service live starting at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And President Trump could meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Sunday as the administration pushes to broker a deal to end Russia's war with Ukraine. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details now from Washington.
Today, with Russia's war in Ukraine nearing its 4-year mark, an effort to inch a deal across the finish line.
Флорида. Буде у нас зустріч з президентом Трампом.
President Zelensky plans to meet with President Trump this weekend in Florida. Negotiators Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner spoke with Zelensky over the phone on Christmas Day to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine. As a compromise, Zelensky says he's willing to pull back troops from the eastern Donbas region, turning an area Ukraine still controls into a demilitarized zone. It's the furthest Zelensky has gone to addressing Vladimir Putin's ultimatum of surrendering the Donbas region. Zelensky adds the 20-point peace plan is about 90% ready and plans to discuss with Trump security guarantees plus economic and territory issues. Russia, meanwhile, hasn't stopped its attacks on Ukraine. Today, 3 people were killed and at least 9 others injured in various aerial attacks in Ukraine's eastern region. Ukraine says its forces hit a Russian refinery. Russia's deputy foreign minister today said Russia is, quote, really close to a solution, but not based on the same 20-point plan Ukraine is referring to. The Kremlin instead points to a different framework deal, one that is heavily influenced by Russia and that is, quote, radically different from what Ukraine wants. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
We're learning more about the U.S. attack on Nigeria targeting ISIS terrorists accused of killing Christians. The Trump administration says the Christmas Day strikes involved more than a dozen Tomahawk cruise missiles. ABC's Olivia Rubin has new reaction from overseas.
Today, new images from Nigeria documenting the aftermath of President Trump's strike on what he says are ISIS targets there. Video showing one of the possible strike sites, a small crater and charred grass, police blocking off the area.
Glory be to God, there was no loss of life.
The Pentagon posting this video on social media showing the Christmas night missile launches. Nigeria says the strikes were carried out in coordination with their authorities, but U.S. Africa Command says the strike did kill, quote, multiple ISIS terrorists. President Trump claims ISIS terrorists in Nigeria are, quote, slaughtering Christians, the president previously warning of a U.S. attack.
I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians.
And while Nigeria's president doesn't deny violence there, he has refuted some claims, saying, quote, the characterization of Nigeria as religiously intolerant does not reflect our national reality. Some experts now wondering if the strikes will have any effect at all.
I don't think a strike like this is going to deter anyone from doing anything. Quite frankly, ISIS has been there for the past 10 years in the form of the West African province, which is probably the folks that were not targeted. The recent attacks between Christians and Muslims has been going on in the middle belt of Nigeria. So they're not even geographically very close.
And the U.S. is warning of more strikes. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Olivia, thank you. Pope Leo said during his Angelus address today that Christians have no enemies, but brothers and sisters. He spoke from the window of his study, looking out at St. Peter's Square, and the Pope said Christians remain brothers and sisters, quote, even when they do not understand each other. December 26th is a holiday both at the Vatican and in Italy in honor of St. Stephen. He was the first martyr of Christianity. Holiday returns getting more complicated this year and more expensive. Plus a potential breakthrough for ALS patients. Details on a promising new medication's results. And later, why the famous New Year's Eve ball drop will happen twice. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announcing today she is pregnant. In a social media post, she described the news as, quote, the greatest Christmas gift we could ever ask for. She says she and her husband are expecting a baby girl due in May of 2026. This is their second child. An apparent medical breakthrough for some people living with ALS. A drug called tofersen has shown positive results in slowing or even reversing symptoms in some ALS patients. The drug, which gained FDA approval in 2023, has been shown to help 20% of patients with a specific genetic form of ALS regain strength and function. An Illinois woman who's been living with ALS for years is feeling newfound optimism.
It's hard to get your mindset around the fact that you have a future, you have, a life that includes your kids growing up.
20 to 25% in a clinical trial is unheard of.
Although the drug won't help all ALS patients, doctors and researchers say it shows the deadly disease could be treatable and maybe one day curable. Well, today's a big day for returning holiday gifts, but it could cost you more this year. ABC's Becky Worley tells us what you need to know before heading to the store or online.
The day after Christmas, it's called Boxing Day, meaning are you keeping your presents or are you boxing them up and returning them?
If you're returning, the National Retail Federation says nearly 3/4 of all stores are now charging some sort of return fee. It's sometimes called a restocking fee, and this is money you don't get back when you buy something online and then return it. For Marshalls and TJ Maxx, it's now $11.99 per mailed package. So when you make a return, that amount will be taken out of your total refund. Macy's charges $10. JCPenney and J.Crew have fees of about $8 to mail back packages.
People may notice that they're seeing more return fees lately. And it's not retailers being sneaky, it's retailers trying to fix a system that got a little bit out of balance. The free returns that were offered trained shoppers to overbuy. And because returns aren't free, the retailer was having to pay, costing retailers about $30 on average.
But there are some ways to avoid being charged.
At Macy's, for example, if you join their loyalty program, there's no return fee. And you can avoid all of the fees if you return in store.
And the timing of your return matters.
Holiday discounting started earlier than ever with big sales in October. So your gift could have been purchased way back before Halloween. Now, some stores have extended their return windows until January or so, but the clock is ticking.
This year, you have a new way to initiate a return online. You can use AI, the chatbots or agents that live down in the bottom right-hand corner of almost every retail website these days.
You can always go to the order section of your account, but the little bots that are down in the right-hand corner of many retail websites are more powerful than ever. And if you're signed into your account, they can often process a return way faster. Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
Becky, thanks. We're getting our first look at where the $1.8 billion winning Powerball ticket was sold. The winner bought it at this Murphy USA gas station in Arkansas. This is about 30 miles northeast of Little Rock. The lucky customer has not come forward yet, and Arkansas allows lottery winners to stay anonymous for 3 years, so they got 3 years. A $1 million winning Powerball ticket was sold in neighboring Indiana. Well, coming up, a local suburb getting its own version of Monopoly, how you can help choose what makes the board. And a live look outside as we head to break on this Friday. It may feel like spring this weekend, but keep those heavy coats close by. When temperatures will plummet in the AccuWeather forecast with Larry, it's next. From snow and drenching rains on the west coast to a winter storm bearing down on the east coast, extreme weather is striking across the country. All of this happening as millions of Americans travel home from their holiday destinations. ABC's Mola Lenghi has the story.
This morning, wild weather impacting holiday travel on both coasts, bringing ice and snow and snarling plans for millions of Americans. Communities in Nevada waking up to a winter wonderland, snow falling across the Sierra Mountain region. Numerous cars ending up on the side of the roads as they tried to navigate the conditions along Donner Pass. Plows out working to try to keep roads clear after more than 2 feet of snow falling in the Lake Tahoe region. Winds gusting up to 100 miles per hour. Now, a powerful new snow system taking aim at the Midwest and Northeast. A winter storm warning issued for parts of the tri-state area. New York City bracing for the most significant snowfall of the season. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation treating roads in anticipation of icy conditions.
Vehicles don't stop on ice. We'll be doing the treatment to help with that as much as possible.
Meanwhile, Southern California facing more possible flooding following days of devastating rainfall, leaving communities underwater and in pieces. In the small mountain community of Lytle Creek, residents spent Christmas morning navigating slabs of cracked concrete. The road there buckling under the pressure of raging floodwaters.
Everything was flooded. It was insane. Like, cars had to stop in the middle.
In the desert, drivers had to abandon cars to save themselves. This driver escaped just in time.
They had to get a rescue, like a lifeline, you know? They were standing on the roof of their vehicle.
Rain overtook entire neighborhoods in Wrightwood. Floods there shifted the earth, sealing off homes, some nearly to the roof, caked in mud. Roads washed away all of the system's snarling travel as the holiday crush is set to begin.
We are expecting busy and hoping we get through things quickly.
Today's expected to be one of the busiest air travel days, with nearly 3 million passengers flying and even more over the weekend.
Our teams are ready to execute. We're fully staffed. We have a lot of new initiatives this year, which we're really excited about. Some of those being the family lanes, the military lanes, the shoes on policy.
Now, because of the air travel mess that the severe weather sweeping across the country is expected to create, some airlines offering travel waivers for those change fees for passengers who are willing to reschedule their flights, push them to a later time, a later date, perhaps over the course of the weekend. If you are one of those passengers and you're able to do that, you want to check in with your airline for your options. Mola Lenghi, ABC News, Reagan National Airport.
Mona, thank you. Live look outside Chicago. Looks pretty. That fog was here earlier today. Kind of a dreary day, but temperature-wise, we're good. It's like we're getting bookended by these severe weather outbreaks. Yeah. And here in the Midwest, we're doing pretty good.
Pretty quiet weather, yeah. We're going to have an active day on Sunday into Monday with rain on Sunday, then snow on Monday. And temperatures do trend colder next week, but this weekend will be very mild. 44 on Saturday. 57 on Sunday, then the bottom drops out on Monday with temperatures in the 20s, and most of next week will stay a little bit below average in the mid to upper 20s before climbing back to 34 on January 5th. But for the next 3 days, let's kind of focus in closer to the weekend, because tomorrow will be very similar to today. Cloudy skies, 44 degrees, a little patchy fog in the morning, then showers and some thunderstorms on Sunday, but very mild into the upper 50s. However, Sunday night, strong cold front gets here. We'll wake up Monday morning with temperatures in the teens, and Monday's high temperature will only be 24 degrees with sub-zero wind chills and light snow coming down Monday morning. Winds on Monday gusting to 45 miles per hour. So here's how this looks on my futurecast. Overnight tonight, clouds stick around, some dense fog will form, temperatures will stay pretty steady in the upper 30s and low 40s. And then as we go through the day on Saturday, a lot of cloud cover, temperatures in the mid 40s, a little breezy at times. And then tomorrow night into Sunday morning, that's when the showers will arrive. And Sunday, despite it being real warm, it's going to be a real wet day too. First thing in the morning, 7:30, we're starting right around 50 degrees with waves of rain coming on through. Heavy downpours at times during the day on Sunday. Can't rule out some isolated rumbles of thunder, and in particular south of I-80, that's where there's the concern for some stronger thunderstorms around midday on Sunday, with even an isolated severe thunderstorm a possibility for some gusty winds. And then later in the day on Sunday, temperatures still right around 50 degrees at 7:30 with scattered rain. And then Sunday night into early Monday morning, that's when the snow starts to fall. Look at this, 7 o'clock Monday morning, right around 20 degrees, winds to 40 miles per hour, snow falling, could get anywhere from a dusting to an inch of snow Monday morning. Wind chills Monday morning, they'll start around 0 and below 0 and stay in the single digits all through the day on Monday. And even as we head into Tuesday morning, wind chills Tuesday morning will be down below 0. So the rainfall on Sunday could be a pretty good soaking, 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch around the city. Higher totals to the south, some spots even more than an inch of snow or rain on Sunday, I should say, an inch of rain on Sunday. Then Monday it's snow with a dusting to a 1/2 inch or an inch of snow across the area during the morning hours on Monday. So a huge difference from Sunday to Monday. Right now, it's 42 degrees under cloudy skies. We've dropped into the upper 30s in Woodstock and over towards Waukegan. But for the rest of the night tonight, we're going to hold pretty steady in the upper 30s and low 40s with cloudy skies and that patchy dense fog forming overnight tonight. 47 the high today, 40 the low, upper 30s to low 40s overnight tonight, cloudy skies, dense fog forming for inland areas. And then tomorrow we're sitting at 44 degrees. 57 on Sunday, then it turns sharply colder on Monday and stays cold all the way through the new year. Maybe some flurries around for New Year's Eve, but does not look like a big system on Wednesday. But Monday morning, it's going to be cold, windy, snowy. A big contrast from Sunday with those highs in the upper 50s. And I do think some spots, say down towards Pontiac, maybe over towards Ottawa and LaSalle, maybe make 60 on Sunday.
Wow. And when do we hit that high, like in the morning, or we have a chance to enjoy that?
Probably around midday before the stronger thunderstorms get here. Then it starts to drop.
Wake up in the morning, it's going to be cold.
Such a difference, yeah.
All right. Well, you can get the latest forecast anytime with the free ABC 7 Chicago News app. You can scan the QR code on your screen and get a link to a download. So Christmas is over. Chicago's Christmas tree recycling program returns next week, and you can drop your tree off at 27 different locations across the city from January 3rd through the 17th. But make sure you take off all the lights and ornaments first. The recycled trees will be turned into mulch to be used at Chicago's parks. They do this every year. Maybe you can drop your tree off. And Hasbro is coming out with a new Naperville-themed Monopoly board game. And you can help decide which landmarks will be featured. The toy maker accepting suggestions online. We have a link posted on our ABC 7 News app and our website too. Live out in that area.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm trying to think of like
landmarks.
Yeah, what would they be?
Well, the train stop would be one.
The train stop would be a good one. The tower, that is,
right.
You can't go in anymore because it's fallen apart. Yeah. Centennial Park, maybe.
Okay.
Downtown.
Isn't there a pond where you can swim?
Yeah, well, that's the Centennial Beach, they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's really cool in the summer actually because it's deep and you can swim and neat stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm racking my brain for like it's a big board. Parks. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of spaces to fill.
It is a lot of spaces, but I bet for sure it's going to be the train station.
Yeah, oh yeah, but you got to come up with 4 of them.
Yeah,
4 train stations.
So maybe the one out in, I don't know.
Yeah.
Block 39, I think that's a good one. Or is it Block 37? I can't even remember. In addition to downtown Naperville. Yeah.
Maybe some restaurants.
Yeah, the Route 59 on ramp onto 88, perhaps. I don't know. Up next, a double celebration for the famous ball in Times Square. It's a twofer, Larry. There's going to be 2 celebrations to mark 2 big occasions. We'll tell you what they are next. Kwanzaa celebrations are underway, focusing on African American culture through 7 distinct principles. As Christian Pico shows us, today honors the principle of unity.
Spirits are high at Malcolm X College as the community comes together today to mark the first day of Kwanzaa, a cultural celebration rooted in peace and unity.
The sounds of Kwanzaa ring out inside Malcolm X College.
We sing and pour libation.
A special cultural celebration that's united generations of people for more than 50 years.
For us, it's a time to just remember our roots, where we came from, that we may not know exactly what country, in Africa our ancestors are from, but it's a time where we can come together.
Malcolm X College has hosted its Kwanzaa celebration for more than 2 decades now, a 7-day festival of music, food, arts, culture, and heritage. Giselle Jackson is a vendor who crafts handmade bracelets.
Just that idea of braiding, I feel like culturally connected, and I feel it in my heart. So I appreciate being able to come and showcase the work that I do.
It's a part of their lives, and this is a part of their tradition and part of their culture and a part of their heritage, and they want to come back.
Celebrated from December 26th through January 1st, Kwanzaa is a holiday founded back in 1966 as a celebration of African heritage and culture. It focuses on 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday, so it's observed by people from different religious backgrounds.
This is an opportunity to come together with community. I love and really passionate about being in community, and so this is a great way to be in community.
In the city's Bronzeville neighborhood,
what it personally means to me is respecting the principles that Kwanzaa does and means.
Families gathered at the Bronzeville Children's Museum to tell stories, to sing, and to spend time together, highlighting what Kwanzaa is really all about.
They get to do arts and craft, they get to sing, they do a candlelight performance.
Kwanzaa celebrations continue once again tomorrow here at Malcolm X College. Daily activities begin at 10 o'clock in the morning and run until 6 o'clock in the evening. We're on the city's west side. I'm Christian Picos, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Christian, thanks. The famous New Year's Eve ball is ready for the big drop next week. Crews finished installing the 7-foot-tall numbers today. For the first time, the ball will drop twice. The second drop will be July 3rd, the night before Independence Day, to celebrate America's 250th birthday. If you're staying home on New Year's Eve like me, ABC 7 is the place to be for Dick Clark's New Year's Rocket Eve with Ryan Seacrest. Chance the Rapper is hosting from here in Chicago. The fun starts Wednesday night at 7, plus a Chicago New Year's Eve tradition returns. Larry, it's year 8 of The Dance with Terrell Brown and Cheryl Scott. It premieres New Year's Eve. This is different. At 9:15 p.m., that's just after an early edition of our late newscast. So you and I were discussing this. We will be here for that 9 a.m. news.
Yep.
And then we will watch the dance. 9, did I say a.m.?
Yeah. I'm not going to be here at 9 a.m.
No, I won't either. 9 p.m. and then we watch the dance together, okay?
Celebrate the new year.
All right, we'll see you at 10 p.m.